we go through uh, in regards to family members, friends, strangers, people that we know, how they just out of the blue will do a complete um, 180 and turn into your worst enemy and basically act like a perp. And I want to talk about that specifically because I know that is the first video that gained a lot of traction and a lot of views. And plus, that's like one of the main ordeals that we as TIs go through. And second, I want to go ahead and let you guys know what um I've been convicted of something in regards to the whole being a target, being a TI. Um not just not in regards just to the title specifically of that description, but in regards to everything else as well. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been, on the edge, and I've been really, really just thinking and meditating on it. But today, I'm gonna come out and say it with full confidence and share it with you guys that that is what I believe. So let me share. So in regards to the friends and family turning, um, I have you can say they're one of them is a close it was an acquaintance that became well, let's just say I know his friend, but I'm questioning if he's my friend. See, that's the thing you guys have to ask yourself. Oh, like uh yeah, like I'm his friend, like oh yeah, she's my friend, in describing like your friends. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, you're their friend, but are they your friend? I'll never forget when my dad told me that. So it's been months since I've had an incident when I've had a full on somebody I know go one 180 and switch up on me for as far as my intermediate family, like brothers and sisters. It's been relatively, drama free. Well, mainly because we haven't been really crossing paths frequently. But these past couple days, see, the friend I'm talking about, he manages a liquor slash market slash store right across the street, right on the corner. So just like how you see in the movies when old guys are around there sitting down playing checkers or chess or having coffee and hanging out, and that's basically what I go to do at times. I go to chop it up and go talk to the folks, and plus it gives me in contact with a lot of people I can come across, and sometimes I even have the chance to witness to people if I'm really focused and willing to. Um, Man, they flipped on me. I'm talking about like I can't tell you. I came across at least five Freemasons, and why I say they're Freemasons is because they had a big ass freaking ring that gold with the square and compass and saying Freemason. And it's funny because yesterday when this individual stopped in the store to buy whatever I guess he was a friend of the person that I knew, and so he started talking to me because they were eating lunch and everything, and he introduced himself to me. So I was just there and just having a friendly conversation, and then I noticed the ring he had on his finger, and I didn't mention it. Oh, that was my fault. I should have not mentioned anything first, but I did. So I said, "Oh, you're a Freemason," and he was like, all of a sudden, his English got bad, and then he's like, "Oh, Freemason." No, no, no. This is angel. First, I was thinking he was saying like it's an angel, um, like it meant for something angel, like he was being like sarcastic or something. And I was thinking like, all right, fallen angel. But he was trying to explain, you know how the square and compass looks like an A and a thing. He tried to tell me that it was like the Angels, like a baseball game. Like he got it from like a baseball game with the Anaheim Angels, and he tried to use that as an excuse of the Freemason ring. Like I really wanted to look at him like, are you serious? Like, but I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, just want to let you know that that is it means Freemason, so secret society, in case you didn't know. And then he's like, oh no, and then immediately after he noticed I noticed he began to start to try to cast spells on me and shit with the whole and normally how witches and warlocks do that is like when they have a conversation with you, they actually um they always make sure to um in a way speak directly to you, continuing the conversation but with questions, but not noticeable, because with questions you have to basically give your approval. You have to because if someone asks you a question and you answer, then you're giving in a sense you're giving your basically more of a chance for them to cast the curse or a spell on you more easier, because you're inviting it. You're not simply uh, rebuking it. You know what I mean? And that's why it's not really, if your discernment is not really like um up to par yet, you shouldn't have conversations with these wicked people. Because, and to be honest, I'm guilty of having conversations and putting myself in the midst of wolves, because I like to think of sometimes I get cocky, and or sometimes I just uh I just do it just to train, just to get on my toes. Even though I know you shouldn't mess with fire like that. It's no joke, but that's what I do, and I shouldn't. I'm not advising anyone else do the same. Oliver, can you send me a message and tell me if you're like seeing this live feed good? Like write something like Oliver Prince is the greatest. Like write something. I don't know. Ring if you're happy. The only thing I see from you, Oliver, is punk and LOL. I don't know how old that message is, but yeah. Well, anyways, back to what I was saying. So the worst part of what I went through a few days ago, and I can say I really had to get it together because I after that incident I got kind of what up? Oh, that real brew. What's up, Judah J? What's cracking liking? So basically, what let me just bring it up what I was talking about, Judah, so you can just get a feel where I'm at. I basically started talking about how how us in the beginning when the whole Ti stuff started manifesting, the main like a lot of the things that was happening with family and with friends around. Can't hear for some reason, family. Oh, let's see. One second. Let me put a Bluetooth. Can you hear me now? All right, cool. Um, Basically, what I was saying. Remember in the beginning when we a lot of TIs went through it where they felt like their brother or their best friend or their mom became a perp, and what the heck? How about now? Man, if I was talking for like 15 minutes and no one hear me, that has got to be annoying. Let's see. Damn. Okay. Damn, this is the worst ever. Daniel, I just came to check in on you and tell you that tomorrow I'm gonna go live. Your audio keeps going in and out, but I'm gonna contact you for sure tomorrow. All right, for sure, Judah. Thanks for letting me know, bro. I'll catch you tomorrow. Now, oh, before you go, can you hear me now though? So I don't want to like keep talking, if no one can hear me. If you can just let me know real quick if you can hear me. No. Anyways, okay. All right, Judah. Good looking. I'll catch you. So let me continue where I was. Okay. Now, the worst thing that happened last week was, and this is like extreme, so don't get scared, is there's all right, there's like you can say one, two, three. There's three to four guys, fellas that are at that at the store where what I'm talking about, like on a daily basis, because one of them works there and one of them works in the back for, like, stocking up things, and the other one is just a neighborhood senior old timer that's always just there in and out. Now, I'm not gonna be ignorant and I wasn't ignorant to the point where I didn't scope these guys out to see if they were you know perps or whatever, because a lot of times uh and I can tell pretty quick, because I don't know if you guys notice, like when you're like talking to like people, and when you're talking to individuals, when they talk to you, they tend to throw up like this and stuff, when they're talking, they're like, oh, la, 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 like, yeah, da, 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 just plain obvious. But what I so long story short is, okay, this is what happened. I had this bracelet, right? So this bracelet I have on, I was like, I was like, I was messing around with it, and I was like going like this, and I was just, it's because I like to like just to fidget and stuff, and then this person I was talking about, let's just say his name is Jacob. He said, "Oh, what's wrong? Are you okay?" And I'm like, that was just like weird. I'm like, yeah. They're like, do you have a problem? Is something going on? So when he asked that, I thought he was talking about like if I had like beef with somebody, but no. It turns out he was asking about my condition, because basically this gave him um basically he said that, oh, it looks like you want to kill yourself, just plain out like that, like you want to like come on, like don't. And he starts like joking, like being like sarcastic, being like, oh, come on, man, like don't kill yourself, like life is good, da, 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 da. And he's talking about like this, like I was. And then I and then like when customers was coming in, he was joking around with the customers, saying that, oh, this guy's depressed, man, he wants to kill himself, he wants to, he wants to hang himself, stuff like that. I'm like, what the f? And then after that, everyone was acting funny, everyone was acting weird. So I go, and then the other dudes start going around, and they start asking me the same thing, like, oh, are you okay, blah 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 blah. And you have to understand, that is, if you don't know, that is, a lot of times, that's actually used that's just actually a psychological um manipulation, in a way where, let's say you were feeling good when you woke up, you were having a good day so far. If you were, let's say you were in line at a store, if someone walked to you, or someone behind you or something, and this person seems like a normal person, like a normal person, it didn't get your attention, or it didn't catch your radar as a perp. If this person said, "Hey, are you okay? You look pretty bad." Like, if a person said that to you, you're gonna immediately be like, "Really? Like, I look bad?" And then by doing that, you uh, you gave in. You basically, not saying you forfeited um, your rights, but you basically, you gave an opening for that that basically negative and deceiving comment to start taking effect if you let it. So in a sense, that's what they were doing when they were asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then I kept, like, and after a while, I I didn't break down, but I got very, what I should have done, I should have left. But I stuck around, not knowing that I was making it worse. So what happened was, the moment of my, you can say, downfall, but not defeat, is I got really, really quiet, and I started thinking to myself, like, okay, I know what's going on here. Um, what do I do now? Do I can do I continue with uh in defense of, like, disagreeing with what they're saying? Do I confront what they're saying, or do I just act like it's not bothering me, or da 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 da? So then, basically, it just got to a point where one of the workers went to Jacob, which is his boss, and said that he feels uncomfortable um, being around me at that time because of my mood. And he even ended up telling Jacob that, "Oh, I think he's going to kill himself back there." And this is exactly what Jacob said. He said, "Hey, listen, you're gonna have to just go home, just go home and sleep. Uh, uh, I don't want you to kill yourself. I don't want you to kill yourself over here. But you can go home and you can kill yourself. It's fine." And I'm just like, at that moment, I really, like, snapped, and I really wanted to be like, "What the like?" 'Cause that was just. But then, like, it started hitting me like, "Oh man, this is, I know what's happening. This is the whole the things that, when, oh, your friends, your family, when the moment they turn on you." So I was like, this is their demons are attacking me. So basically, I just said, "Oh, okay, for sure." I basically just it is spiritual, bro. Everything happens in the. Yeah, you're right, bro. And that's basically that's basically what was going on. But since it hasn't happened to me in a very, very long time, I was really caught off guard. I was caught off guard, and plus, it's something like suicide and killing yourself in any sense, in any conversation, out of the blue, is pretty, like, dramatic, and pretty, like, not stunning, where um it left me like frozen, but it was just like it just caught me off guard, and I didn't until I realized what was going on. I I already started to doubt my if I was really giving off energy, or if I was acting like I was depressed or suicidal. Like I let it get to me. But then it wasn't until later on when I got home, I I I started thinking like, hold up, hold up, hold up. I started thinking about it, and then it got to me, and it was like, I remember, I used to hear this from a preacher a long time ago, like Satan, he's always lurking. He's always looking for that one opportunity to get in and flip the script. And when it came down to, and it must have been something that I did that, not in a sense where it was sin, or it was something bad in the effect, but I must have just did something where it was just an opportunity for him uh to start the attack. And since I didn't catch on to it quick and rebuke it, he basically I basically fell for it. I fell for it. He basically, he fell for I fell for the trap. I fell for the bait. So, and that's what happened. So it wasn't I didn't go back. I didn't go back for like let's see. Whoa. So I didn't go back the next day, and I went back. I went back the day after, and to my surprise, when I walked in, Jacob looked at me in a way where he was shocked that he saw me, like in a way like, "Oh, you're alive," joking like that, and like, like being like just, being dramatic. And that that didn't surprise me, but I'm like, damn, like he's still, so it must have, so that but you know what that told me? That told me when situations happen like that, and these so-called um whether the person is full out wicked to begin with, or whether the it's the demon basically, that's operating in this person. It was 2 days that passed, and the moment when I first went in, the first thing was like, oh, like you're alive. So that tells me that, man, either Jacob is full blown on, like fully basically not possessed, but when I come around, like he's automatically the demon is automatically in control, or Jacob's been basically wicked from the start. And him and all these other Freemasons I've been catching, I've been coming across uh, paths with, are all Freemasons, because I pay attention to the handshakes they do. I pay attention to, and a lot of the times it's a lot of the Freemason handshakes. Um, it's a lot of the conversations of indirect conversations about you. And yeah, so that happened. So that really snapped me back to warfare, because I haven't been engaged in like something like that for a while. Um, but obviously I go through like harassments of uh helicopters like every day. But it's the thing is, it's funny, like this is but I know it stresses you out. Like, has this ever happened to you? Like, I could be all across town, right? Let's say I can be probably like uh in like, say, towards like Studio City, Sherman Oaks. I could be over there, and I can see in the sky, whatever, the plane light up and start manifesting and shape shifting and turn into a helicopter, whatever. Like, I could see it, right? And then when it gets closer, it starts turning into a plane. And then I tell my friend that's driving, "Hey, look, that's not a plane." And then he'll my friend be driving, he'll be looking like, "That is a plane." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And then a helicopter will just like pop up out of nowhere. I'm talking about like middle of the freaking sky, like a big ass freaking helicopter would just manifest and just start. I'm like, "Dude, you didn't see that helicopter just pop out of nowhere?" And they're like, "No." This is what I say. I say, "Look, bro, we're in Sherman Oaks right now. How much you want to bet when we go, by the time we get to our house, right? And all right, listen, I'm in Sherman Oaks at the time, like towards like Ventura and like Sepulveda. So we're about to hit like the 101, right? So I'm like, how much you want to bet that that same helicopter is gonna be over our neighborhood when we get to our block, when we get to our house?" He's like, all right, we'll see, chief. You know, like, he's just being funny. So we go and we start, and I totally forget about it by the time we go there, and we stop at the liquor store to buy. I went to buy some smokes. I get out the car, and then boom, immediately, like right over the parking lot, this big ass freaking helicopter. And I think this was like it was sheriff's or something, and it was circling. So I'm expecting my friend to be like, "Damn, bro, like, you're right." But this is what he says: "Bro, like, it was fine. It was fine towards that direction anyway, so it must have just been." I'm like, I was like, "Oh man, that shit pissed me off." But that just affirmed that as much as he show evidence to people, they're not fully gonna see it. Like, it really, it's crazy. I know, like, Judah J talks about the Matrix a lot, in a sense of what's going on. And to be honest, that is exactly how, remember in the movie The Matrix, remember how in the sky in the Matrix, it's all black with like lightning and everything, and not until they flew over the clouds, they were like, they saw the sun. I look at that as an interpretation, as like the chemtrails, as like sooner than later, like the chemtrails, that is their main goal. They want to, like, the sky to be like that, and basically, and the whole Matrix thingy is like basically like the reality, the false reality that people are living in right now. There are people that are plugged into the Matrix are the people that are still believe Donald Trump and presidents like is against the Illuminati. First of all, if you guys believe that Donald Trump is anti-Illuminati and is against the New World Order, and he's fighting and he's draining the swamp, let me tell you, no. Like, like like, really? Like, are you kidding me? You can't see, like, you can't see how this is all part of the plan. And second, if you're really a Bible believing, God fearing person, okay, this is one thing that I know for sure. I can't say if a person is doing this and believing this, or if this person is sharing this on their YouTube channel. I'm not saying that they're like deceiving and they're wolves in sheep's clothing. All I'm saying is, if there's someone that identifies himself as a Christian, right? Or believes in God, and or doesn't, identify as Christian or any denomination, but just, he believes in God and Jesus Christ and everything. If they are still putting out videos about, oh, we need to like Donald Trump is going to stop New World Order, or we need to fight, or we need to come against this, and we can overcome, and we can finally beat this, we can beat that, then I question their where they truly stand and where their loyalty stands. Because if you really believe in the Bible, then and you have to believe in prophecy, and you have to believe that it's written what is going to happen. It's written in the book of Revelations. So all this of what they're talking about of Donald Trump stopping this, that goes against what is written in the word. And they're basically coming up with their own uh doctrine, and they're not believing what it says in Revelations. And what it says in Revelations is, America is going to fall. There is going to be, completely agree, brother. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Spring Rain. I appreciate it. God bless you too. Nice for you to uh join. Um so World War III is going to happen, or that I'm not sure. Because I know in Revelations it does say rumors of war, and I think, and I know in Revelations it does say that all the armies of the world, all the nations in the world are going to be um in rising up together to fight, basically, uh to go against the Lord, right? And so I think the whole North Korea and the whole, I think that's all just smoke screens. To be honest, I think the only reason why they brought up the whole North Korea incident was to, basically, for one, to distract the society with that story when they're doing other things, and second, they want to go ahead and implant in our brain subconsciously that the threat level and the possibility of North Korea attacking that way. Because look, a nuclear, there's a thing called EMP, right? It's called the electric magnetic pulsing. It's a thing where it's a bomb, but it doesn't cause destruction. It basically, if someone drops an EMP, an army drops an EMP in a city, it basically ignites, it blows up, but it doesn't cause destruction as in a way of like fireballs and like break, like, leaving everything in dust. It basically just wipes out communications. It basically it puts the whole town in a blackout, where no electricity is gonna work, no cell phone, no cars, no nothing is going to work. Like, remember the movie, War of the Worlds, or something like that. So it's gonna be like a EMP, but you have to connect the dots, guys. Listen, before, I know I'm rambling on politics, but there's a reason why. Um, Before Obama's term was over, he passed a bill, and this bill wasn't on mainstream news, but you can go ahead and search and do your research, and you'll see what I'm telling you is the truth. He basically passed. He made. He made, how would you say, updates to a bill called space space weather disaster space weather disaster uh bill, or something like that. Is basically, in case of something that happened, if a major disaster will happen, they'll use this bill that has basically the steps of what agencies in the government will take effect, and what responsibilities they have. So this is crazy. So this bill basically was talking about space weather disasters in case of a solar flare, in case because supposedly NASA was reading that the sun was giving off abnormal readings, and they're afraid of a solar flare, and they're afraid of the possibility of if a solar flare was strong enough and hit the Earth, that it'll wipe off communications. It'll basically what I talked about. So they specifically talked about solar flares and for in this bill, and this came out of nowhere. This came out of nowhere. But if you read down to like page 200 and all of the other revisions that they passed through Congress, they had it was originally for an EMP. This was originally for the electric magnetic pulse, but from what I saw in it, they can go ahead and drop an EMP on us, like our own government, like themselves, right? And they can go ahead and then blame it on the solar flare. And then by when that happens, then they can go ahead and start enacting all the provisions that are in the bill of what necessary steps, like what agency is gonna go take over, like what are the evacuation plans, and all these things, and it basically gives all the power to so Obama passed that before he left office. And then when Trump came to office, voila, you see everything with the whole Korea and the whole nuclear bomb, and they can and then when I saw in the news that they're talking about North Korea can drop an EMP, then I saw it. Then that leads me to believe that then they're setting up for something to happen, and then they're gonna be like, oh, well, that's good that Obama passed this bill because now I can. So you have to connect the dots. So basically, what I'm trying to say is just Donald Trump is a sellout. If you guys don't believe me, pay attention to the way they talk and the certain hand gestures and symbols. Uh, in the Bible, the word does say that in the Bible. Thank you, Spring. In the Bible, it does say the wicked speaketh with their fingers and winketh with one eye. That's why you always see all these celebrities winking with one eye, having one eye covered, doing that. And when he talks about speaking with their fingers, look at the Freemasons and look at everything they do, or look at the Satanists. They speak it with their fingers, and most of the times, the next time you see Donald Trump talking, I guarantee, I could bet you, and I don't even have $1 million, but I could bet you imaginary $1 million. The next time you see Donald Trump talking, it's gonna be not in less than 5 minutes. You're gonna see him throwing up this. It's sick. Uh, yeah, he keeps saying okay, trying to get our consent. We do not consent. He keeps saying okay, trying to get our consent. What do you mean? Like you mean like Trump? Oh yeah, because that's part of the act. See these people, the powers that be, they're not stupid. They've been. You have to understand the things, especially when it comes to technology and it comes to discoveries. When they are putting out on on the news and in the media, spring. It's not an OK symbol. It's 666. Oh yeah, I thought. No, I think she knows that. I think she knows that. She was just commenting, um like besides the whole 666 thingy. Uh, but I don't know. I could be wrong. But yeah, if you didn't know, spring, that means uh, like I'm about to kick you. Okay. Got it. Oh well. Anyways, yeah. I can't see your name, person, whoever's con, but yeah. Thanks for uh joining in. Basically, so I've been rambling on for a long time now. Uh, I'll give you guys the religion states, the religion states that they must tell us beforehand. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think that's why they put out a lot of movies um with with basically, like, have you noticed a lot of movies they put out on natural disasters and stuff like that, like as soon as they put it out, like a month, like a couple months after, like a hurricane happens or something dramatic, or so they do that and they tell us, like, subliminally, and uh one, because I was naming my channel 1, 2, 3, etc. uh 1, 2, 3, etc. That's may I ask the reason why? No, because I just want to know, bro, because it's a dope name, like it. My channel name is one. For sure. But do you have a name? Like, are you like a dude or a girl or a Christian, non-Christian? Are you a atheist, Satanist? Nothing. Do you believe in Jesus? Dude from LA, Christian. Dope. Bro, I'm like that, bro. Don't take it personal or anything like that. It's just I'm very straightforward. I don't know if you noticed in my channel, guys. Anytime something happens, or if there's uh if someone is, like, say, reaching out to me, um I'm a fan. We chatted before. Oh yeah, that's right. I think we did. I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, when they just like cut off the connection or something. Yeah, exactly. All right. But no, I appreciate that you're that you like what I um that you well, I hope what my videos at the end of the day help, like, help, but I'm flattered that you say fan, that you're a big fan, bro, but I'm no one special for you to be a fan, bro. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a I'm not a YouTube star. I'm not an idol for you to be a fan of, you know. If anything, all everything that I do is basically by the grace of God and what He um, has blessed me to be a mouthpiece at, when I'm obedient, and He uh, I just try to be the best tool as I can for Him to use, and so if anything, be God's number one fan. But I appreciate, where I'm coming from, bro. I just had to state that. Um, so Uh, I think that's about. Oh, second, all for His glory. Amen. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? How's how's uh how's everything with you? Oh, uh, Listen, soon, I'll say in about, what day is it today? Today is the 20th. Um, I'll say about, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. That's good. That's good to hear, brother. I'm try to do it. I know I'm gonna do it for sure, 100%. But I'm just gonna see when. Today's the 20th. I am going to do in about probably in the beginning of March. I am going to be doing basically picking out uh basically, I don't know, it could be people, it could be people that are subscribed to me, and it could just be people that are just happen to pop up on the live feed that I'm doing on that specific day. But I'm just going to be doing a little, as you can say, like I don't know how I'm going to do it, but the the at the end game, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to give out uh some cash. So basically, probably, I don't know, $50, $100, something like that, to basically, if anybody is like struggling or going through anything, and they can use a hand, for whatever, for to help pay a bill, or to help just buy groceries, or just put gas. Then uh one of you guys will have um I'll, choose one of you guys, and then I'll get your contact information, and I'm gonna send, the money to you, or do it MoneyGram or whatever, or just do it through um like like a banking app or something, like just send it like with your phone number or something like that. So and the reason why I'm doing that is because um I will, basically, for I've been putting, a separate basically account for things like this, to basically use you know those funds to, help out, basically, for so I'm just trying to do my part, so it's not to I struggle just as much as you guys, but in it's so yeah, I'll let you guys know what the whole thing is going to be about. And yeah. What else? I think that's about it. I think that's all I really wanted to share. Yeah, bro. I know. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, this is gonna be very, very, very thing, but you know me, I'm gonna say it. Okay, I remember when I first came across the whole phenomenon on YouTube with the whole targeted individual. I remember when I first um was open to that, is I basically was deceived, and just thinking and was just looking at it as a carnal thing, is looking at it as like, as some psyop, as some government psyop, and like looking at the physical parts of it, and mind control. And I wasn't thinking anything of the spirit. I wasn't thinking anything with it wasn't until later, when I started actually, when God took me away from my home, and I was secluded by myself, that I was, I started, reading the Bible. And then he starts revealing to me what was really, not in a sense of everything that was happening, but he was giving me parts of what I needed to know, what was happening and what was not happening. And basically, what was not happening was I'm being basically full on uh yeah, God. Yeah, he does that. Yeah, I know. Uh, but that's good. You said that, Spring. He sometimes, I know, for each of us is different. He does take us to be secluded, to be by ourselves sometimes, to get our attention. But sometimes we there's a moment of when we uh progress in maturity, and when our faith gets stronger, and when we start understanding our current circumstances in each of our individual lives, and what's going on in our walk with God, we have to leave from being isolated. We have to get out of the whole being isolated and get back into um not in a sense where you come back to the world, but you start looking to engage and have fellowship with other brothers and sisters, or just start working on yourself, but outside of being isolated. Because what I noticed, and I'm speaking from my and I'm speaking from my experience of what, and everything I speak on is just from my experience. And I think that's the reason why we go through all these experiences and trials, because what better person to help you with advice is than a person that's been through it. So I think that's one of the reasons why sometimes we go through all these things, because that gives us the better opportunity to help the another person. But this is what I noticed sometimes. Like I said before, the Satan, he's right there. He's looking and he's waiting for an opportunity to come in the picture. And you have to understand, when you pray, that's why try to pray in your head. And this is what I want to talk about too. I know there's a lot of TIs that talk, and they have the idea that or they assume that the perps or the other people or the demons or the devil, that they can read our minds, but that's false. The devil can't read our minds, demons can't read our minds, the perps cannot read our minds. I don't care what they say about with this whole technology, and oh, they implant this, they can read your thoughts. To be honest, I think that's full on propaganda, just to get you scared to believing in that way you drop your guard down, and you really just start thinking like, oh, there's nothing that you can do to avoid everything, so you just give up. And by doing that, you basically, your armor is not strong enough, and they have a better chance at basically destroying you. But I do believe they have technologies just like supercomputers, and how marketing works, and how Facebook and all these the way they advertise things. I do believe that they have certain uh basically how do you say it? They have disembodied spirits can what what do you mean disembodied spirits can what read our mind? If But to be honest, well, I'm gonna have to disagree, brother, because to be honest, I read your thoughts. Nah, I don't believe that, bro. Because I honestly believe, because if God is the only one that can read our thoughts, and not nowhere anywhere in Scripture does it say. I know the devil. I know them. The thing. See, this is how people could get confused with the enemy reading your thoughts and the enemy planting thoughts. See, sometimes people get confused because the enemy can plant thoughts in your head that make you subconsciously do something, or make a decision to go somewhere, and not knowing where you got that thought from, you thinking that it was just your decision. That thought was been implanted from the enemy the whole time. So when you went to that location, boom, they're there waiting for you, and you're being freaking bombarded, and you're being attacked from all directions, and you're like, damn, how the hell did they know I was being here? Not unless they read my thoughts. No, they planted the thoughts in your head, and they deceived you, making you think that they can read your thoughts. See, that's how they work. They work through deceptions and they work through. But see, that's why you have. That's why it's important to to not give the devil so much credit. A lot of times we give the devil too much credit, and so this is one thing I want to just actually there's two things that I'm gonna just drop the bomb on. I do agree with them planting thoughts. Yeah, for sure. Satan doesn't have the control like God. Uses technology. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think we talked about that last time about how he was going to. The whole reason why he's doing the artificial intelligence is because God refers as us as a body, as our body, as the temple, and I believe that the temple, when Satan comes and talking about declaring himself as God in the temple, I don't believe it has to do anything with the temple in Jerusalem. I think it has to do with AI and technology and him having a way to um, uh, basically possess the robot or mix with iron and clay artificial thingy and like permanently and declare himself as God in our temple. I believe that, like he's using all that. Or so back to so I think also wanna yeah um yeah the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. So he says, but so basically I have used DMT and I have sleep paralysis, bro. I 100% feel you, man. Like I've been going through that even before, like I think I was like 15 or 16. I'm 27 now. I was like 15 and 16 when that thing. My whole life, I always went through anxiety attacks. I had panic attacks even before I had close death experiences or dramatic events in my life. I was always I've had like panic attacks since I was a kid. So sleep paralysis, um, it's that really I always you can say I always knew that Jesus was real. Like um I always knew like God was real and I knew Jesus was real. But in a sense of accepting him as my savior and really like uh deciding to walk with God, it was before this. Um Sleep paralysis, when sleep paralysis was happening to me, even before I even knew to call out Jesus, I was like like prompt, like it was like it came out like not forcefully, but it just came out naturally. I cried out for Jesus, and then when I did, it stopped. See, this is why I say to people that if they want, it's one thing to tempt the Lord. It's one thing to call God out and to tempt them, but there's one thing, but I know there's but I know when it comes down to a person that is basically questioning his faith or basically is looking to believe in God but just needs that that evidence at least one time to and he basically tells the Lord like, oh, if you're real, do this. If when it comes to something like that, I honestly believe like God welcomes that. Like I believe he welcomes that to the point where he actually, I think he actually finds it very pleasing when someone actually decides to um uh, speak up with uh with courage like that. Like if they should be someone to be reckoned with. But I think God finds it very that divine. Praise God. Sorry, typo. Spring race. All about possession over temples, combining two entities and jumping God. Yeah. See, a lot of you guys are, a lot of you guys are do know what's going on. But and not saying that you guys are being, and the next thing I'm gonna say now, it has nothing to do with you guys, but it just it just like I have to just say it, having all this. Okay, do you guys remember? Okay, there's one thing I know for sure that we all have in common. Whether we have all these different, but there's one thing that we all have in common besides believing in our Lord. The way we found, uh, the way God opened our eyes. I can say for 100% with like 90% sure surety that we all started like something like popped, snapped in our brain, and then we started like when the news came on, we're like, what? We started like questioning things that was being told, and then we started doing our own research, whether it was 9/11, whether it was all these false flags, and we started looking at uh, the lies and the propaganda. So basically, what I'm trying to say is what we all have in common is we were all truth seekers. We were seeking the, we were all searching the truth. It was like something like you would say like a tick that we had, or for or for an addict, it's like it was like we're trying to chase that first high. Like we didn't know what was going on, but there was just a spark for a lot of people. Yeah. uh I wasn't the movies is what made people scared, but then again, that's what the movies are designed for. So um so we were all searching for truth. So it is not a coincidence that we all ended up um meeting Jesus. We all ended up seeing meeting Christ, because he is the truth, the way, and the life. And I think in for a lot of people around the world, that is the beginning of, people call it an awakening. um I call it as believing. No, that's the beginning of believing in basically we're being called to the kingdom. Many are called and few are chosen. And I used to believe that when they says many are called, few are chosen, meaning like many are called, but a lot of them won't be chosen, and the rest like are like just gone. But I honestly believe that it's just different categories. Like many are called for certain things, and then many are chosen for certain specific purposes. And the called and the chosen are both, in my opinion, are both saved saved people. Holy Spirit guides us all into truth. Holy. Yeah. Gates are narrow. Um, let me. Oh, okay, guys, hear me out first. Hear me out. Let me finish explaining. If you don't mind, let me finish explaining why I came to this conclusion before you guys start questioning. Like I'll tell you when I'm done, so I can like, because I want to read everything and I want to like do everything organized. Okay. Not too long ago, about a month and a half ago, I basically I saw somebody on YouTube, right? This happened to be a female of the female, but happened to be a person of the opposite sex, and it was someone that seemed very religious. Or was all about prayer, and in this, and while I'm saying this, I'm in no way attacking. I'm not even gonna drop a name like this. It's not even about this person exactly. I'm just telling you the story about what happened, because I like to be 100% transparent, because I got nothing to hide. Um, so I gained like a liking for this person. Like, I remember I prayed to God, and I'll tell you, and I was being, uh, we know who. I doubt it. I doubt it, because I wouldn't, uh because me oh no, not Simona Rich, bro. If it was Simona Rich, I would have just, I did a video already, like exposing and basically putting like respectfully rebuking her. So I wouldn't, why would I not tell you? Like, I'll tell you. um Not Simon. Bro, I still think, I still honestly believe it's Simon, man. But that's another, that's Lord for Lord for. I don't know. I'm getting off guard. I'm getting off topic. She's an android. Oh, all right, you guys. This is why I didn't want I wanted to finish before you guys start. Okay, so this was, no, seriously, this was about and I really, this is what really happened. I really started praying to God, and I said, God, listen, uh um I never came to you in prayer asking for a car, or asking for a job, or like, that's one thing I never prayed. Like, growing up, I never ever prayed like that. Meaning, like, not saying it's cool if you do, but it just, like, I never was praying like that. Like, I always was just praying for protection, for health, for just things in, like, in the spirit, but nothing like, oh, can you do this, can you do this for me? So I prayed to God, and I said, God, for sure, 100%, I never asked you for anything like this. But and at that time, I was really listening to a lot of sermons where they were explaining, when in the word, where it says, um you don't have it because you don't ask. So I was just like, all right, so I'm gonna tell you, please, 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 uh do something where you could make us cross paths, because I want to wife this girl up. Like, because at that time I was really getting strong in my walk with God, so I thought, like, it would be perfect, and it seemed like we had chemistry and we clicked, and I don't know, I was just drawn to this person, where I felt very, like, like, it would be perfect for, it'll be, two people in a relationship helping each other with their walk with God. And for once, I was really, like, looking, like, seriously, like that. And plus, I'll tell you this, guys, and you guys, and women, if any women are saying, you could believe me when I say it. It really was my true intentions, because I haven't been in a relationship since 2013. I was engaged, and I moved out with my high school sweetheart, but she ended up basically having a taste of that good life, party life, and she cheated on me. So you know, since then I haven't been with another woman. So it was, very. If I was praying to God, then I really, felt a certain type of way. So, anyways, so it was a month, 2 months happened, and nothing happened, right? And then it turns out that we did start talking, but what happened was, when I was talking to this person, um I got really involved, not involved, but she she didn't introduce, because I knew this was already happening, but she was, since I was in constant communication with this person every day, I basically was being open to what she was feeding me with her energy, with whatever, with anything. And this person really believed in deliverance. When I'm talking about deliverance, I'm talking about how self deliverance, and how there's a spirit for lust, for fear, for anger, for porn, and all these charismatic so-called churches that are deliverance ministries, and, and that are casting out, devils and things like that, like Derek Prince, and and other known ministers. So at that point in time, I was fully uh, convinced that I was uh, dealing with certain uh, spirits or whatever, and then I would at certain times at night I would watch like self deliverance videos like online, right? And I'll watch like people being freed from deliverance from this, from the spirit of anger and didn't. But the spirit of Jezebel is real. I've been dealing with that witch for many years, but I'll talk about that later. But okay, it wasn't until recently, and then after I started talking to this person, things took a turn for the worst. See, I when we started talking, I was happy. I was really like, I was like, really, God, like you answered my prayer, like thank you. I was in joy. But every time I would talk to this individual that night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed up all night. I started feeling a type of a dark vibe, um, a dark energy, and then lo and behold, spiritual attacks started happening. Um, uh, Poltergeist thingies started happening. Sleep paralysis started happening. Heavy like attacks, and that was happening all within uh in communication with this person, and I was full on into research of deliverance because I was accepting, as I was starting to accept that doctrine without even without fully knowing I was, because I was basically searching it, and I was trying to do self deliverance. But then something happened, and this was a couple weeks ago. I and it's hard to explain things in the way exactly how it happens. You guys know that when you guys are convicted of something, or when you guys are like, damn, that's what God was trying to show me this whole time. Even though you know how it ended up, whether it was a chain of events that happen in sync, and usually that's how it usually happen, it's hard for you to explain that. So basically this is what happened, and basically I was convicted that this whole deliverance uh, ministries, and the charismatic movement, whether these ministers are innocently partaking or not, that's not what I'm talking about. The whole thing of believing in, and putting the responsibility and the blame on the spirit of lust, or the spirit on addiction, or the spirit of anger, that didn't sit right with me, because by doing that, what really felt like it was casting my responsibility, and casting uh, the blame on something else, and not of myself. Because you have to understand, I know we are, even the moment when we were saved, and when people are saved, we're still at war with the flesh. We come from a fallen nature, and it's an ongoing battle from the spirit and the flesh. So it's so and these are the lusts of the flesh. In scripture, it talks about the lust of the flesh, the thing of the flesh. This was all from us, from our flesh craving, and by partaking in pornography, or partaking in addiction, or partaking in, or in anger. we basically give the flesh more power. So, but the thing is, you have to understand with but if you're believing that it's the evil, if you're believing that it's a spirit of anger, and that you have to cast the anger, and you have to cast the spirit of anger out, or you are basically choosing and not knowing, you are not taking responsibility and 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 repenting of your own mistakes and your own flaws ways by flesh, and you're putting it on a spirit. And by doing that, what does and by doing that, then wouldn't that make us perfect? If you would cast out all these spirits and all these things, and you cast out everything from like anything you can imagine, what is left? What is left? You're telling me like you're perfect, and you're like you're walking in like Jesus? No, we're supposed to be striving to. But see, and then so this is what I did. I wasn't 100% sure, but I did this. I prayed to God and I said, Lord, I sincerely come to you and I'm sincerely praying. If I was misled, or if I was deceived, and I've been uh, um, blind throughout this, and I've been partaking in something that is not of you, not of your ways, and this is like totally against, and this is just false doctrine and it's false thing, then I then please forgive me, and I repent for partaking in any of it, and just please confirm it to me. And that same night, I can't tell you, man, like the energy in this room, the negative energy just disappeared. It was like if something was lifted off, and then after that, it was revealed to me that the whole deliverance thing and the nature of all that is basically witchcraft. It's You're practicing in witchcraft when you partake in that. But I'm not saying that people cannot be possessed, because it does say in the Bible, it is in scripture. Jesus did cast out the devils. People do get possessed. I'm not naive to say that it doesn't happen. No, I'm saying no, it does happen, and there's probably a lot of people out there that do have the authority and anointing to cast out um, uh, really, cast out the devils, but not in a way where it's portrayed as it is now. And if you guys don't know, if you do your research on the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church on we're all called comes up in our lives, we're all called, it should be but shouldn't. Yeah, I agree. And the Catholic Church, just how I explained in the Hope Simona Rich video, the Catholic Church, they've done a lot in ways to pervert Christianity, to make people believe that the Catholic, and really, and then it gets to a point where people start looking at Catholic doctrines as Christianity in general, and they're just basically discouraged, and they don't even want to. But the Catholic Church, they started um, the whole exorcism. Yeah, exorcist. The word exorcist was used in the King James Bible one time, but the whole exorcism, as in using the rosary to and figuring out what the demon's name was, and having these conversations with the demons, and doing all these holy water, all that is, I believe that's part of the whole ritual and the whole yeah, see, that's exactly how it hit me. So all that, and And this is what this is okay this is okay, listen to me, guys. This is where it's going to get, you really have to pay attention, and do not, everything I say right now, do not, you can listen to what I'm telling you, but do your own due diligence and your own research, and searching it further if you like. If you don't like to, don't get lost in it. If you're focused on something else in your walk with God right now, and the last thing you need to do is focus on this aspect of what I'm talking about, then don't even research it, because I don't want to steer you off the path of where you're at, because that's what the devil does. The devil likes to throw things in your way to get you all focused on here and here, and keep your eyes off God, and that's not what I want to do. But if this is affecting you in a dramatic way, then by all means, you should. The Catholic Church know that the best thing to do is to infiltrate. So if you're looking at it from the eyes of the Catholic Church, what would be the best thing? The best thing to do is to introduce exorcism and the whole ritual and the way it's used, and introduce it to Protestantism, to Protestants, to the Christian denominations, and basically have undercover Jesuit trained Catholic priests starting deliverance ministries. Exactly. It's starting deliverance ministries, and basically in the guise of Protestant, but are basically their true allegiance lies with the Jesuits and the Catholic Church, and and without using the same title as the Catholics do, they basically are doing the same rituals and the same deliverance ways, and they're spreading that um, uh, um, uh, throughout all the denominations of the Protestant. That's where you have the charismatic, um, and the charismatic church. And if you, this is exactly how Masonry works: infiltration, not conquest. Yeah, exactly. You're 100% like that's. I know JFK. I know he even said it in one of his famous speeches before he was assassinated. Like they're focused on not invasion but infiltration. Yeah, it's something like that. But so by doing that, and one thing that struck me was, if you recall, when what happened when Jesus came across uh the possessed. What did the possessed do? You guys, I'm not sure, you guys, like, how did they act? Did they start acting hysterical, or a lot of the times did they come and praise him? Remember that one time when that one possessed individual ran to Jesus and went on his knees and started praising God, and started praising Jesus, and basically giving him praise, like if he was a Christian, right? And what happened? Um, did Jesus have a conversation with him? He didn't even allow him to speak. He just get out of him. He casted him out just like that with a few words. But look how it is right now in the deliverance ministries. How are they acting when people are being, once the whole thing is done, and people right before people are delivered, and right, yeah, exactly. He said, "Come out," just like that. He didn't say, like, he didn't investigate and start this whole trying to figure out 21 questions and take this to take a demon on a date. So, have you noticed, it's after when the deliverance is done, the person starts being before they were fully, delivered, or when the exorcism is right before it took effect, they were being hysterical, right? They were being like whether they were being aggressive or whatever in that nature. And then after it's done, they start praising, they start worshiping. And I honestly believe is because they, instead of being demons casting out, I think that whole process of how the why the Catholic Church started it, it was because they were basically bringing demons in people, and I think that's how it relates with the people that demon possessed person in the Bible that was worshiping Jesus. He wasn't acting crazy. And look at the people that I don't know. That's just my thing, and I'm just telling you from my experience, guys. Like when I basically prayed that, and I turned my face from believing that. I've been a weight has been lifted, and I really felt even though I didn't hear it audibly, I really I really think I heard like Satan like uh yell out, you know, like he's pissed and like shit, like you know, like not to be thing, but uh Acts, the demon punked out the apostles. The demon said, I know of Yeshua. But yeah. Yeah. That's why so that and you're right, in Acts they did do that to the, and they, and what did and those people that the demon attacked, that group of men that they attacked when they said, oh, I know Yeshua, I know Paul, but who are you? All those people, they were supposedly they were the ones, they were the exorcists, they were the lost people, right? So we have a, so look at it now, we have a bunch of, and I honestly believe those people that were attacked by the demons are the same type of people that believe that they have authority now and are doing all this false exorcisms, and I really think that they're starting that is just one of the um, basically tactics of the, the devil. So yeah, so that's, yeah, that's basically what I, that was one of the things I wanted to publicly state and share with you guys. And second, I think target individual, guys, I think the whole thing how it is portrayed on online, of it being like chosen for an experiment, or basically a psyop. To be honest, bro, to be honest, guys, I'm really starting to believe that all of that is just a distraction. Not saying that we're not being called for a specific purpose. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that I think eventually everybody that is really saved at these times, see, we have to understand what times we're in now. 20-40 years ago, when people were saved, yeah, they were saved too, but maybe they didn't go through the things that what we're going through now, as in the paradigm shifts and the weird things that are like happening, where it's just like uh where they're like, you're not seeing stuff, but it's happening, right? But you have to understand, I think it's because at this point in time right now, is the veil is basically almost lifted, it's almost broken. And it's like how you guys, and how you said in the beginning, what's happening and what's happening in the spiritual is manifesting in the physical now, to the point where it's undeniable. And I just think we, as ones who uh uh you know share the whole target, being a targeted individual, I think we all share that name because of why? Because it was something that it was, we all basically, well, to be honest, I'm happy that I found that as you can say, that whole community of thing, because it brought me to a with other fellow TIs. But I think while being led to that information, you have to trust in God to filter out the BS, and for Him to tell you what's real and what's not. And I'm starting to think that the experiences are happening to us, guys, but it's not because of this whole TI thing. I think it just has to do with basically, it just has to do with the times that we're in now, and for us as being saved, and for us as accepting Jesus, and for us not accepting and not to be a part of Satan's kingdom, and not to accept the mark of the beast. And I just think all that is happening, and it's going to happen to everybody. It's not that doesn't mean that everybody is going to identify themselves as TIs. I know there's plenty of Christians that don't even know what TI is, but fortunate enough, like, I think it's just that the people that were did come across that information, we obviously did for a reason. And it's just we have to filter out what's true and what's not. And at the end of the day, guys, you have to just you have to just accept what is true. And I'm not some people online claiming you can just pray it away when it get worse and kicked in. For me, I actually found Jesus. It started with me at birth, not from my sin. Yeah. If people are same name, different, good message, brother. I gotta rest, but keep in touch. God bless you and keep walking their path. All right. God bless, brother. I thank you, bro. Rest up quick. I'll catch you next time. Um. So I'm gonna just chop it up for at least 5 more minutes, guys, and I'll call it this live feed a wrap. So, an answer to what you were saying, not a fan of certain people online claiming you can pray this away. Okay. All right. Hear me out, bro. I, I, if I was next to you, bro, I'll give you a high five, bro. You're 100% right. See, I think when people are spreading that message, either they're they're they just don't know, they're doing it unknowingly, or they are deliberately doing that. Because the reason why one would deliberately do that, meaning the devil, is because they you have to understand what really turns off people as human beings is when one hopes for something, or when one prosperity gospel has caused so much damage. Yep, that's exactly why it exists, to cause damage. There's are two online ways to pridefully teaching otherwise. One wears a mask. There are two online ways to pridefully teaching otherwise. One wears a mask. Explain what you mean. They go live together, often preaching you can pray it away and just don't sin, to not be gangsta. Oh, when it comes to that, yeah, that's BS, bro. They do that because they want you to pray, and they want your hopes to be crushed. They want you to put so much faith, and then when you go out and you be heavily gang stalked purposely, they're gonna gang stalk you heavily. It's to make you think like, see, like praying didn't do nothing. Like, look at faith. Like, what is faith? Like, faith is nothing. Look at, you put all your faith in prayer, and it just made it worse. It's to discourage you. It's to make you. And to the baby Christian, it sometimes it deceives them, and it throws them off. And it's sad to say that it happens. And sometimes you can shed light and help that person and let them know. But sometimes they can just get um totally where they turn their back on God, and just how it says in James, if they left, I think in John, or if they left, then they were never of us. Trying not to name them, but just saw you in their live chat once, etc. is all. They got it. Claiming zero technology is relevant when it's both spiritual and technology. Yep, it is both spiritual and technology. I agree. Figured you was talking about YouTubers, not sure who, but yes. Try not to name, but they just saw you. But just saw you in their live chat once. Who? You saw me in their live chat? In what way? Wearing a mask? Uh, yeah. I don't know what to say to that, bro. Uh, just avoid them. It's good just to know that their wolves are there, and just yeah. And the best thing you can do is just warn people, and to take cautious if they happen to go and listen or see them. But don't make sure you don't falsely make rumors, or you start gossiping. See, a lot of times they like to use the whole Simon thingy with the whole Simona Rich thing that I did. It's not like I looked at that in a way to uh as publicity or something like that. Like, listen, when it comes to exposing people, that's one thing that I take really, really, really. I'm really, really patient. I'm really, really patient on. When my eyes are, when I'm locked in on a target, and sorry to say it like that, but I'm just saying it just so you guys can understand what I'm saying. Or when God has showed me that this particular person is dangerous, then I study this person. I uh I really pay attention, and I do my work. I do my work, because when I'm not I'm not in it here for and I'm not attacking other channels that have done this exposing, or I'm not talking about other channels. I know there's a lot of channels that expose the same people, but I'm just using it as an example. I'm not in it for just like, oh, uh hey, this channel, you guys, and just talking about how you disagree, and how there are this and this 2 minutes, like, and that's it. Like, me, if I'm going to put someone out and publicly rebuke them, and I'm gonna do that as respectfully as and follow the rules as I'm supposed to. And if I can't, well, first I'll try to directly speak to that person in private, and just how it says in the word, and how you're supposed to bring two other witnesses with you. But if things are, if you're not able to do that, then things are gonna have to be the way they were. um what Try not naming them several times. No, don't. It's no, I, bro. But you're not talking. You're not. It's you're fine, bro. You didn't do anything bad. Um. Uh. In the sake of this discussion, bro, it's fine. But basically, guys, if you guys see me and I'm going to be putting out another video soon on a specific. And these are channels that have 30,000 30,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, and you know, and just like at the Watchmen and Ezekiel, you know, I don't want to have blood on my hands, you know, and I think what it really takes time, and what really it takes a long time for me to really like come out. I know a lot. I know at times I should have came out with a video, exposing certain people sooner, but I think what I believe to be my conscience, and when I believe it to be me being cautious, I think it's just Satan uh hindering me from doing it. um but um yeah, so just know when I expose somebody, it's because there's a reason, and I'm just trying to uh help people from being eaten up by these wolves, you know. And that's what I'm called for, and that's what I'm good at. So obviously it's not for my own enjoyment. And you know damn well, guys, I don't have my channel monetized. You know, I'm not in it for that. You guys should know that. I put everything out there. I let you guys know everything about me because I have nothing to hide. And yeah. Yeah, because there's certain ones that are doing the most damage, and people want people sometimes are like not like, it amazes me. Like I get really really happy when people there's a lot of people that are commenting in wolf sheep's clothing too. Yeah, exactly. And you have to be careful with. See, the thing is, with having a channel, like, I'm not ignorant. I know there's so many. I know probably out of my subscribers that I have is probably like, I don't know, let's say probably 5 out of 10, let's say half, 5 out of 10 are like five are basically wolves in sheep's clothing, and are basically subscribed to my channel just to either give me false praise, to flatter me, to do certain things, to basically pump me up, to get me prideful, or to make me, or give me praise when they should rebuke me, or give me or flatter me when they should disagree with me. Because you should have no problem with disagreeing with somebody, and if somebody is truly walking with God and truly your friend, they should be able to accept it without being confrontational, and thank you for acknowledging it to them so they can have another view of it. But a lot of times it won't happen, and a lot of times a lot of these channels get pumped up by these so-called subscribers that support them, is because they're pumping all this flattering, all these and they're like over the top, and then they pump up the YouTuber, or they pump up a person that has a channel like myself, and they start feeling like and that's when idolatry kicks in, and they start feeling like they're the, excuse my language, they start feeling like they're the shit. And then the purpose of their channel, it starts being diverted, and then there you go, Satan can go ahead and use more. I'm not saying that about you guys. I'm just telling you exactly uh, what I'm supposed to. All right. All right, guys. It's been. I want to do this for 2 hours. I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna end this feed. I would like to say that it was truly. I enjoyed this conversation with you, and communication with you guys, and um, I pray that you guys stay with the faith as hard as you as much as you can, and even if you fall off, don't be. You know what I'm gonna just end it by saying this. Sometimes try not to think of the best way to pray. You know, sometimes God is just looking for you to just to be real, just to be 100%. If you're not, if you're feeling a certain type of way, don't try to be like, oh, I know this. No, just say straight up, like, listen, like, I don't like how this is happening. Like, did it? Like, He wants you to be 100% real with Him, to be open, just like how a son and a daughter is with their father. Just be open with them, just be open with Him. You have to understand, like, He is our Father and He treats us as the same way. So don't hide and don't be ashamed to speak on what you're feeling to God. He's the last person you should be ashamed of to speak to. And you guys have my email. My number is there too. And yeah, so I hope you guys are, stay blessed, and God bless everybody. And I'll catch you guys next time. All right, guys. I love you guys.